Welcome to Indianapolis for the 1956 United States Grand Prix. And we see Jackfairman on pole for the second time in 3 races. A massive opportunity for Jackfairman today. Caught up in a pile-up in Monaco after he'd already got himself up in position from his grid slot and denied the opportunity to pull further away in the championship. But here, a massive opportunity again for him with a pole position. The Ferraris are looking reasonable. Jean Behra, bit of confidence from his Monaco win. He is a couple of places higher. Mike Hawthorn moving up to 8th. He was only 16th on the grid last time. Still got it on the podium though. 100% podium record for Mike Hawthorn this season. Will he keep that up? Scotty in the Connaught, once again not able to match his teammate Jackfairman. He'll be hoping to bring home some points at some point this year, but it all depends on how it goes race to race. Remember, these 1950 seasons, there's less than 10 races in them. So, yeah, there's De Portago in the Ferrari, Godi in the Maserati just ahead of him, Perdisa in the Maserati. So, Ferrari, they are still yet to finish a race this season after 2 races. We'll see if that can change today. Hopefully so. They still seem to not have hardly any grip. So even though they can put the 1 lap together in qualifying in the race, it's a different matter, and it'll be interesting to see how this goes with Ferrari today. But they desperately need, even just to get one of their drivers home, finishing in the points, would just give Ferrari something, because the championship is already looking rough for them. BRM a long way back this time. Flockhart was 3rd on the grid in Monaco and led the majority of the race, but he's right down in 20th place here. Going to be a very difficult race for him. De Silva Ramos, he's got 100% point scoring record. He'll look to continue that. He's once again out-qualified his teammate Robert Manzon. And in the news, the Dutch Grand Prix is returning to the calendar for next year. Jackfairman is staying with Connaught and Gordini are pulling out. So here we go. Jackfairman on pole. Stirlingmoss for the first time this season. Not qualifying 8th, but qualifying 2nd, right on the front row. He'll hope to have a good chance to do something today. Jackfairman, I'm sure, would be happy as long as he's top 2 or top 3. Here we go. Away they go. And there's already a yellow flag out somewhere, so we're not sure what happened there. But look, Fairman leading away, and he's got a bit of a challenge from Moss. Is that Moss? I think so. And well, they come, and there's a bit of, they're all losing traction. They're all going off there. So, well, the 1956 attrition continues. I think there's a few drivers got out, a few who are able to continue, but we're seeing Jean Behra, the Monaco winner, he's already up in a 2nd. He's behind Paul Frere in the Ferrari. So Fairman is out of the race. So I think Behra has gone off as well. So Paul Frere leading. So this has started well for Ferrari. They've got a lead. They've got a 1-2 now, I think. And they've got a bit of an advantage over 3rd place, which is Scotty in the Connaught, already gone up from 11th. Moss, 4th. And Mike Hawthorn, who is always there, is there once again in 5th place. So he's only needs a couple of retirements ahead to maintain that podium record. Ron Flockhart up to 11th, Mondit Guay and to 12th. And there's still a lot of incidents. You're seeing, this is just crazy. Oh no, that's Mike Hawthorn. He was thinking, with all the attrition that's happened this season so far, he was really thinking this might be another podium in the championship lead, but it's not worked out that way for Mike Hawthorn. He is out of the race. Paul Frere leads into lap 2 in his Ferrari. Fantastic run in from him. Olivier Jean-Dibian is behind him, and then you've got Scotty in the Connaught. So that's the 1-2-3 at the moment. And there's Moss in the Maserati in 4th, hoping he'll be able to make some ground up. But how much pace has he got? De Portago has got up in the 5th in the Ferrari, and they've got quite a handy car there. Fangio, we think, is out once again. Castellotti is in 6th. So there we go. And there's there's another off. There's another off, and that's Castellotti. You're not really too sure who it is, to be honest. It's muddled because someone else has gone off. Is that Frere? And that's another Ferrari has just pulled off. Actually got through the chaos at turn 1. There is a massive car park there, and they're not clearing it up by the looks of it. So everyone's gone crazy. Moss is out of the race as well. So, wow, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know how many cars are left, but we have no idea. There's Fangio. We think maybe he did last a little bit longer, but he wasn't really up high. And he is out of the race now. Taruffi up to 2nd in the Maserati, who is leading now. This is an absolutely chaotic, crazy race. We have no idea what on earth is going on. Taruffi in 2nd at the moment. De Silva Ramos up in 3rd in the Gordini. Well, he's if De Silva Ramos was to hold that position, he could end up being a surprise championship leader after this race. That would be a real turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Scarlatti and his private Ferrari is still running, so that's something a Ferrari could keep even a private car running. Because there's another car pulling off, and another car going off, and there's another spinner ahead there. So this is just crazy. They're all spinning off everywhere. None of them can keep it on the road. And, well, what is wrong with these 1956 cars? Clearly a lot. Well, look, Rosier, Uriah up to fourth, Gerini, De Silva Ramos, Taruffi now in the lead. So, right, the race, we think and hope, is settling down. Taruffi is in the lead. De Silva Ramos up to second. He could well lead the World Championship after this race. Not the first name on your lips when it comes to thinking of Formula 1 in 1956. But De Silva Ramos is the one to endure so far. He is doing really, really well. And there's a real car park, and Taruffi now spinning off to avoid it. Is he going to be out? Is anybody going to finish this race? De Silva Ramos spins to avoid it as well. He goes a different way. Taruffi will, I think, continue so with De Silva Ramos. Maybe these are the cars that do have grip this weekend and they will be able to finish the race, but there's not an awfully big amount of them, is there? Uriah, who was up to third, he spun as well, and oh, it's crazy. There is a car park there. Are they going to spin there every single lap trying to avoid it now? That would be absolutely ridiculous. But this season has been ridiculous, and it looks like it's going to remain so. But this is a long race as well, 10 laps for a 5% race. You know, if these cars keep spinning off, it could be over within 5. We've only got, I think, 11 runners left at the moment. Manzon being the last runner, and that's out of 32 starters. Actually, there's more cars left in the race than I thought, but I think a lot of them, I think every single car has spun in this race at least once. And yeah, absolutely crazy to see. Uriah in third, just ahead of Louis Rosier. All his experience, he'll be hoping for the podium. Cesareperdisa, he's got a Maserati underneath him. The Maserati that won the Monaco Grand Prix. He will be hoping for that podium as well. So there is a lot going on here in Indianapolis. It's not that spread out. It is at the lead. I think Taruffi is comfortable in the lead. Remember, he won that Swiss Grand Prix in 1952 for Ferrari, and he was the only non-Alberto Ascari winner all year. So Taruffi's got previous, and if he can win this race, well, again, he's had to spin to avoid these guys who have been left in the road. And I think De Silva Ramos, you can see, is already in a spin as well. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. I think by the end of this race, this is going to become very, very tiresome indeed. Is it just a case of whoever has the spin for the least amount of time and recovers the quickest is going to win this race? Look, De Silva Ramos, I think, has dropped a position now. Perdisa made it through that pretty unscathed, and Perdisa now up in a second. So at the moment, it's a Maserati 1-2, and that would be fantastic for Maserati. Maybe not the drivers they expected to carry it with Moss and Bearer up in second and seventh, but they have long since retired. It's Taruffi, who, like we said before, is a previous Grand Prix winner. There's no reason why Piero Taruffi cannot see this through. Rosier is in a spin now. We were talking about all that experience of Louis Rosier. I don't think it's going to count for anything. Can he continue, or is he out of the Grand Prix? I think we're down to 9 runners, or maybe less than that now. Rosier, there's the confirmation. Rosier is out of the race, and I believe now only 8 or 9 runners left. This is just getting more and more crazy and ridiculous as the race goes on. Gerini up to 7th in his Maserati. Chapman in the Van Wall is now up in the 6th place. Remember, top 5 score points, so Colin Chapman's not far off from that now. Umberto Maglioli has found his way into the points again, just like he did in Monte Carlo. The Piero Taruffi now is looking quite comfortable. He's pulling away. I don't think De Silva Ramos really had the pace in that Gordini, and then he had a spin and dropped a few positions. And yes, once again, Taruffi is in a spin. Well, yeah, watch for the yellow flag. This is definitely becoming quite tiresome. If you make it to the end of this video, you definitely get a gold star, if I had any to give you, that's for sure. Maserati, the Perdita again in the spin, and that's the Torbet. I think De Silva Ramos, Gildini, sorry. Torbets haven't been racing for a couple of years. Yeah, that's De Silva Ramos in a spin, and Uriah behind him, still all managing to spin off in turn 1. It's like someone's put an oil slick down there, but even though there are cars that haven't been recovered, after a few laps you would expect the drivers to remember where they are and find an alternative line through, but maybe they're just concerned that there's another car spinning, because that corner is just ridiculous. There's Chapman, there's Manzon, there's that Trantagnon there, all spinning off there. And that's the main theme of this race, is the turn, I think it's turn 2, isn't it? Although the spins for some of them are starting in turn 1 and lasting all the way around. But yeah, there is just a car park, and like when a car park is pretty full, it's impossible to navigate to find a space, and the drivers are trying to do that every single lap. Taruffi coming round for, I'm assuming, his laply spin. We'll see in a little while. Let's see, Taruffi continuing into turn 1 in P1, and there you go, he starts to lose it, and whoops, around we go, and he's in the wall, hit the wall the other side this time. Is Taruffi actually going to be able to continue? Because if he isn't, this could be raced over. I think somehow he has nudged his way through, so Taruffi does continue, and that's Perdisa in a spin. And well, we'll see what happens out of that. The order is actually staying pretty stable because they're all spinning, all having sort of similar spins, and that seems to be that. Perdisa recovers in second, just like one would expect. And then who is third at the moment in this race? Well, they're a long way back, whoever it is. It's Uriah. So Da Silva Ramos has dropped right back. He's down in 4th now, and Da Silva Ramos has had an opportunity. He's not been able to take advantage of it. He needs to score. He's on 5 points. He needs to score at least a podium in order to take the championship lead, and it's not looking like that's going to happen right now, is it? He's dropped further off, still in 4th. He would still pull level on points, although Perdisa, actually, he's running 2nd. So if Perdisa was to hold on to 2nd place, then he would potentially take the championship lead. He's on 3 points at the minute, so 2nd place would move him up to 9. And all the guys ahead of him, Fairman, Bearer, Hawthorn, Manzon, Flockhart, and they're all out, apart from Da Silva Ramos, who's not heading for enough points. So, yeah, this 956 championship is very open, as long as you're not driving a Ferrari. If you're driving a Ferrari, you're not allowed to make it anywhere near half distance, really. So, but other than that, it's a pretty open championship. You can see the car park's changed slightly, and people are still going off, although Taruffi got through pretty quickly there. It seems like they've cleared up some, or they've just been bumped by cars spinning into him onto a slightly less intrusive line. However, the drivers are still spinning. You see Perdisa there spinning, and Uriah was thinking, oh, I can get that 2nd place, but then he spins as well. He should have known better of it. They've had enough laps now to know that spin is coming. Yeah, Da Silva Ramos still sitting there in 4th place, but Maglioli and Transignon and Chapman all not too far behind him. I think Da Silva Ramos might have an issue, and he is starting to slow down. I think he might be stuck in gear or something. So Da Silva Ramos might not actually score any points at all in this race. Well, assuming that more than 5 cars finish. We've still got a way to go because it's Indianapolis and it is a long, long race. Piero Taruffi, all he's got to do is keep going. That's all he needs to do for the win here. Absolutely fantastic performance from him. Just as he took his opportunity in Switzerland in 1952, he will be taking opportunity here to get that victory, and he's just got to avoid putting it in the wall. Just got to avoid the fate that, you know, nearly 30 other cars have had, and just got to keep it on the island. Taruffi continues to lead, and he's a long way ahead on that. Is that Da Silva Ramos off again? I think so. He's having a disproportionate number of spins now, but I think he might not even be in the points anymore. But while the positions are coming up there, oh, that's an engine failure. Who's that? That's one of the Maseratis. Is that Gerini? Possibly Gerini or Piotti. So that's another retirement, and again we're seeing another spin. Someone's got through that okay by taking the grassy route. So Perdisa 15.8 behind Taruffi. So it's a sizable lead, but by the state of this year, a car can cost itself 15 seconds of a spin, although the fact that they're all spinning will probably mean it will stay like that. But yeah, sizable lead. Taruffi, Perdisa, Uriah still in 3rd, and everybody else is a million miles away, a million miles back, because Transignon at the moment. He's in 4th. Now he's a driver with some good front running experience, but Transignon, Shell, Vanwall, they've all had an absolutely dismal year so far, and Transignon spins again, and I know why we're particularly singling out Transignon, because everyone is spinning again basically every time. Da Silva Ramos has dropped to 5th now. His struggles get more and more, and he's just trying somehow to get that car home, even if it's just by him finishing and nobody else finishing. Taruffi leads into what I believe is now lap 8. 2 laps to go, and there's another yellow flag, probably because someone has spun where Taruffi is now about to spin. And I would say, come on guys, this is getting tiresome, but it's been tiresome for quite a few laps really. We like to see some drama. Don't get me wrong, but we also want to see some racing. And this is just a very spread out race, really. I mean, it is kind of comical, you know what computers can be like, and that's De Silva Ramos off yet again. He seems to be spinning on virtually every corner now, and but De Silva Ramos has got much of a chance at all of getting any points. Mind you, he's still in 5th, so yeah, Gerini is having more issues, and that's Chapman is out of the race now. So Gerini's having more issues. Piatti doesn't seem to be anywhere. Those Maseratis are really very, very slow, because De Silva Ramos has had no end of issues, and he is still ahead of those two. So, yeah. Oh, De Silva Ramos has got a problem now. I've just confirmed he is stuck in 4th gear. So, it's really, this might just give Gerini and Piatti a chance to catch him up. Well, Gordini are preparing in the pits. So, what's going to happen? Are they going to retire De Silva Ramos? It looks like possible. Or are they just going to try to fix it, or put a new steering wheel or tyres on or something and send him out again? But what's the point in pitting him if the problem is terminal? You might as well just leave him out to claim a point. He's on for a couple of points. Why would you retire your driver? Because he's one of the most consistent in the field. In that respect, with the way this season's going, he's got a chance of fighting for the World Championship. Well, let's see what Gordini are going to do. Are they going to send him out again? It's not looking good. No, De Silva Ramos is out of the race, so that's another retirement, and that means that basically nobody has finished all the races in the points anymore, with Hawthorn and now De Silva Ramos retiring from this race. Trantignon still in 4th at the moment, and he'll be hoping to hold on to that, but I don't think Gerini is too far behind him. So, well, is he going to hold on? Uriel's going slow, I think, mainly because he's had a spin in the usual place. Taruffi continues to march on. There can't be that long to go now, surely. I think we're on the final lap. With everything that has been going on, I've sort of lost track of where we are, but I would imagine Piero Taruffi is on the final lap and coming through to win. I'll proudly declare him as the winner when there's still one lap left to go. So be it. I'm going to fall on this sword that this is the last lap and the last corner, and here comes Piero Taruffi to get back onto the brick section of the pit straight, and Piero Taruffi crosses the line. Doesn't cross the line yet, but he's about to cross the line. Crosses the line now in Indianapolis, and he has finished the race, and Piero Taruffi is the victor. So we have a driver, I think for the first time in 1956, who has won a race before being the victor. It was a good 4 years ago that Piero Taruffi won that Grand Prix, the only race that Alberto Ascari didn't win for Ferrari that season, apart from the Indianapolis 500, which was then competed in by American cars, but now we've moved to the Formula 1 cars, obviously. And Perdisa finishes in 2nd place, so that should give Cesareperdisa the lead of the Formula 1 World Championship. Well, that's going to potentially change Maserati's views on him and maybe hold him in a bit higher regard, along with Mossambera, because right now he is doing a good job. He's finished 2 of the 3 races, just like Hawthorn and De Silva Ramos. So just because you didn't score in Argentina, you can't now. I think he didn't score in Argentina. I think I'm going to check back there. No, he did score in Argentina. It was Monaco he didn't score in. So just because you didn't score in the first 2 doesn't take away from the achievement of scoring in 2 races out of 3, because believe me, as you can see after 3 races of this season, that is extremely hard to do. So, but Perdisa has done it. He will now lead the World Championship on 9 points. So, there's a spin in the pit lane. Was that Taruffi? I took my eye off the screen there. No, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. The race is over. But yeah, good little spin, little way to have a little bit of a ballet dance after winning the American Grand Prix, and I'm sure that the joy will still be there for Piero Taruffi. It's been a fantastic achievement. So we might as well start looking at the result then. Piero Taruffi, he wins the race. We've said plenty about his achievements, so I don't think we'll need to add any more there. Piero Taruffi wins the race and gets himself into that championship battle. Nobody is yet into double figures, and I'm just trying to work this out. I think 12 drivers have scored points in the first 3 races, and only 5 actually score. So, yeah, only 3 repeat scorers, being Perdisa, De Silva, Ramos and Hawthorn. So Taruffi wins today. Perdisa finishes second. Albertouria has been a perennial backmarker all season so far, but he managed to survive and drive a very solid race to finish third today. Maurice Trintignant would have been expected to be ahead of Uriah, but he wasn't. But to come home fourth, he's brought Van Moor home 3 points in what they know is a difficult season for them. So they've got to be reasonably contented with that, Van Moor, I would say, because at least they've got some points on the board. Eugeniocastellotti finishes 5th in the Maserati, and then once again, I believe, only 5 finishes, and out of them, Gerini was the lap down. So, yeah, so that was the race result. We'll have a quick look at the championship. Perdisa leads it on 9 points. You then have 4 drivers now on 8 points. Jackfairman, John Behrer, Mike Hawthorn and pierotaruffi. Robin Manzon and Ron Flockhart on 6. In the constructors, Maserati are now 30 points ahead of Guntini. That's massive. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you soon. Take care.